going to focus mainly on the ones that I haven't spoken about, but I'm going to list them all. Okay, in chronological order of when I saw these movies, we have first we have Poor Things with Emma Stone. I've already spoken about this movie. My partner and I saw it kind of on a whim, but in a theater. And I think everyone should see it regardless, but however you can see it, you should see it. But I'm really glad that we saw it in a theater. It was so visually stunning. I will say, as I believe I've said before, that in the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so, I was like, I don't know if this is a movie for me. There was a lot of burping, and there was the whole Dr. Frankenstein type vibe, like different creatures reanimated and brought to life, and it was a little gross, I would say, just a little bit, not disturbing, but enough where I was like, I don't know if this is for me. But we stayed, and I really loved it. It is a movie about, it's been almost a year since I saw it, but a young woman who is created by a Dr. Frankenstein type scientist, and she goes on this marvelous, fantastical journey. It's a coming of age movie. She learns so much through her experiences and her travels and comes into her own, and it's so quirky and kooky. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and yet it's so full of life. It feels like life for so absurd a movie. It really feels full of like the rich stuff of life. I loved it. Second and third, I'll skip through because I've definitely talked about them here before, and I feel like they've been covered a lot from like last year's award cycle. So I also loved The Zone of Interest. Phenomenal. And I loved Anatomy of a Fall. Wonderful. Those just stand alone. They're excellent. I don't even have to describe them. If you're interested, you probably already saw them. If you haven't seen them, don't let their forgettable titles dissuade you from seeing them. The titles are not forgettable once you have seen them, but before you've seen them, I do feel like they're very abstract titles, and they don't really have purchase, like there's nothing to sink your teeth into. But after you've seen the movies, the titles are beautiful. You'll never forget them again. They are very memorable. The movies are fantastic. We'll just leave it there. lives a very simple, frugal life that is nevertheless filled with kindness and art and culture. He spends some of the little money he makes on cassette tapes. He has beautiful taste in music and clearly really feels moved by and connected to the music he selects and chooses to listen to. The movie is gorgeously shot. It has really rich, saturated colors that feel almost unnatural, like of a set, but they are of the movie itself. Like, he has some plants, and to help the plants grow has a grow light, and the grow light is one of the light sources that lends this juicy, rich, jewel-toned light set to the movie as a whole. It's beautiful, and that would be enough for it to be an excellent movie, but also it develops really beautifully, showing you how he values his friends, what he's willing to do for friends, but also by the end showing you a bit of the loneliness he experiences and the complicated emotions that exist under the surface of his calm life, and the ways in which he has made it calm and maybe declined to connect when the ways to connect are more challenging, like with family. So it has this depth to it as well. It's not just gorgeous or what's the word, like this idealized version of a kind of hermit-like life. It's much more deep and layered than that, and it's beautiful to watch and look at. Very calming and very thought-provoking. Okay, and then another movie I loved this year was Anora. That is A-N-O-R-A. Anora is the name of the protagonist, but she goes by Annie, or Annie, in the movie for much of it, but her full name is Anora. That character is played, I think her name is, well, it's definitely Mikey, but is it Madsen or Madison? I don't know. But that character is played by Mikey Madison, we'll say. I'm really bad with actors' names. Who is phenomenal in it, and she, I don't want you to think that I'm just using the word phenomenal willy-nilly over here. I mean it when I say it. She's so good. And I know her, even though she's a very young actor, from a show called Better Things that my partner and I really enjoyed. In Better Things, which is about a mom and her, well, a working actor, voice actor, who happens to be a mom with 3 girls, or 3 kids, raising them as a single parent. It's just a great show set in LA where it feels very everyday, and the show moves scene to scene, like the unit of time is just moment to moment, and it just feels feels like the real fabric of life, just little moments without seeming navel-gazing. It's really good. I've never seen anything quite like it, but anyway, Mikey Madison is one of the daughters. And then Honora, she is the star, okay? She is a sex worker who meets a young guy, a Russian heir to something, who has a lot of money, and kind of gets swept up in a romance with him, and the hopes of transcending or like achieving an elevated state, like being pulled out of her relative poverty by this very unreliable young kid, Russian kid. This movie is directed by Sean Parker, and he did The Florida Project and also Tangerine and also Red Rocket, I think. So, like the rest of his movies, the rest of his body of work, this movie is visually delicious and also really well told. All the characters are very complex and a delight to follow. I really liked the kind man at the end, I'll just say, without spoiling it. No spoilers, no spoilers, okay? But the movie as a whole is just, it feels very authentic, and it's a little bit funny, and it's visually very dynamic, and the actors are phenomenal, and it's a little heartbreaking too. Highly recommend. I highly recommend. Okay, another movie I loved this year was a Babel thriller. My friends were like, do you want to go to the movies? And we were like, to see what? And they were like, a Babel thriller called Conclave. This movie has so many actors that I do not know the names of. I feel like everyone I've talked to about it, my friends, my partner, my dad. Today I talked about this to my dad, or with my dad. They know all the names. I know no actors' names in any movie, especially this one, even though they're really good actors. There's a lot of great actors in it, including Stanley Tucci, and that's the only one I remember. And also Ralph Fiennes, is that how you say it? These are only coming from me because I literally talked to my dad about this movie today. Even if you think that you don't care cardinals wear. So the garments in the movie are a little more elevated than they are in real life, just a hair. Just a little more stylish, just a hair. And she used eyeglasses to help viewers differentiate between the cardinals. Like, of course, you can see that they have different faces, but she used eyewear to signal something of their personalities. And also their crosses or crucifixes that they wear on their necks. She used those to signify certain things as well. I believe the silver jewelry was used to show that cardinals were more liberal and gold was more traditional and so more conservative. I did not pick up on any of that when I saw it, so it's not like you're expected to pick up on it per se. But after reading the profile on this woman, I was really interested in that aspect of the movie. And it's just a good watch, a little drama. There's nothing wrong or boring about it. It's just thoroughly entertaining and substantive. I do recommend. Then another movie I really loved this year was The Substance. No surprise there, probably for you. I think probably no surprise. Probably no surprise. I wasn't going to see it because I'm not really into horror, and I'm not really into body horror. But then my friends, several friends, assured me that there were no jump scares, which is the thing I have a real issue with. And so, I mean, like, even in my day-to-day life, I'm the jumpiest person, so I cannot handle jump scares in movies. I just can't. I just can't. I just cannot. I cannot abide a jump scare. So once I knew there were no jump scares, I was like, okay, maybe I'll see it. If I know when to cover my eyes, I'm usually good. So I saw it. You probably already know what it's about, but basically, this woman takes this experimental drug or substance or, something to make herself look younger, because she is an aging actor and like fitness star, kind of Jane Fonda-esque, right? And things So I married an axe murderer with Mike Myers. I've never seen Austin Powers. I don't really want to see Austin Powers, but So I Married an Axe Murderer is freaking hilarious.